This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sarah Beth, and I work with Tom and Rebecca at Benefit Administration Group. And we are so excited to be working with PetroTech to bring you an awesome benefits package for the 2019 year. So I wanted to take a minute today to walk you through your different benefit options and show you just how easy open enrollment can be. I do want to be respectful of your time, so we'll make it quick and easy. But I also want to make sure you have all the information you need to make the best decision for you and your family. So let's get started. If you go to our website here, petrotech.eastcentral.com, you'll see this homepage. And before you even log in, you have access to a ton of tools and resources right here in the document library. So as you can see, you've got different folders for all of your different plan options. For example, if I click on the medical folder, I have access to my drug formulary for different plans, my summary of benefits. I can find a doctor in network. This GoodRx website is something we use a lot. That's a great resource for prescription information. So I just want to bring this to your attention because the document library is a great place to go if you have any questions or you just want to learn a little bit more about your benefit options. Of course, you can always reach out to us as well if you have any questions. So I'm going to log in here. You will have your own personal login, and it will take you to this home page. Here's that document library. You do have access to that inside the portal as well. This is where you can manage your benefits throughout the year, check your deductible, things like that. Of course, if you do make any changes in the system, please reach out to us. The system does not notify us of changes, so make sure we know about that as well. And here you can view and update your demographic information. But for today, we're going to click Start Enrollment. And the first page it takes you to is this profile information page. Now, a lot of this should be filled out for you already if you've been through this process before, but go ahead and look over it, make sure it's up to date, especially your address, because that's where ID cards will be sent if you make any plan changes. You will also notice that some of these fields are required and they will actually turn red if they're not completed. It won't let you sign off here until those fields are completed. It will actually redirect you back to the page with the missing information. Take a look over that, make sure it's all good, and when you're ready, you're going to click Next, and it will take you to your dependents. Now, these are a little bit different from beneficiaries. We'll get to them in a minute. Your dependents are your spouse or children that you may want to enroll in your benefit plans. You can edit their information here or add new ones here. Now, just because you put them in our system doesn't mean you have to enroll them. It's just a nice way for you to play around with your different cost options for each benefit. So once you're good with that, you'll click Next, and it will take you to your 2019 benefits summary. Now, this is really where I want to spend a little time today. This is a really nice, clean overview of all of the different benefits that you have available to you through PetroTech. So I just want to make sure that you are well informed on all of your different options. So as you can see, for the medical insurance, we have 4 different medical plans with Humana. You can see the networks are national networks for 3 of them, but this one is actually an auctioneer-only network. So basically that means that you would need to stay within the auctioneer network in order to access these benefits. But you may be surprised to find that there are a lot of providers, even outside of New Orleans, in the auctioneer-only network. It doesn't necessarily have to say auctioneer on the front of the building for them to be affiliated with this plan. So you can always go to that Find a Doctor link in the document library to find out if your providers are in network, or of course, as always, give us a call and we can help you with that as well. So I definitely want to point out the different networks to you. And then the next points of comparison that we like to use are your deductible, your out-of-pocket maximum, and then your co-insurance and copays. So let's talk about the deductible. You can see that 2 of these plans have a $0 deductible. So for those, I like to direct people to this number right here. Because for your copay plans, your deductible is not going to come into play unless you're admitted to the hospital. So on this plan, since there is no deductible, if you're admitted to the hospital, it would be $1,500 a day up to a 3-day maximum. So that's kind of like your deductible, but it operates like a copay. You can see that 3 of these plans are copay plans, which means you have flat costs for certain services. For example, if you go to urgent care, it's $125 on these 2 plans or $100 on this plan. But this plan is not a copay plan. It's pure deductible. So all of these services, including prescriptions, will simply apply towards that deductible. So your deductible is definitely a point of comparison and something you want to take into consideration when you're trying to find the best option for you and your family. You'll also notice that this slash stands for individual and family. So if you're enrolled on the plan by yourself, you're going to be looking at these numbers. If you're enrolled with dependents, you're going to want to look at these numbers. That out-of-pocket maximum is like your worst case scenario. So that's the most that you're going to pay in a year. So for example, if I were on the copay plan right here and I were admitted to the hospital, I would pay that $1,000 deductible. After that, I would pay 30%. Humana would pay 70% until I hit my out-of-pocket maximum. And then after that, I'm done. On some of these other plans without deductibles, or like this one where the deductible and the out-of-pocket maximum are the same, you don't have any co-insurance. So for example, with this one, if I'm admitted to the hospital, it's that $3,400. That's the same as my out-of-pocket maximum, so then I'm done. Same thing for prescriptions. You've got copays on these three plans, and with this plan, it is purely your deductible. These copays for prescriptions are based off of the tier of the prescription, so generic versus brand, things like that. As you can see, these plans are ordered from the lowest cost to the highest cost, and you can see your different cost options based on the level of coverage that you choose, whether or not you choose to enroll dependents. So those are your 4 medical plans. You've got a lot of great benefits to choose from with Humana. If you scroll down, you'll get to your dental insurance. You can see it's a $50 deductible for individual or $150 for family, and you have a $1,500 per person annual maximum. Those 2 cleanings a year, those preventative services, are covered at 100%, and you won't need to pay the deductible for those. They are at no cost to you. But if you need something after those cleanings, a basic service such as a filling or a major service such as an extraction, these are your different coverage options. So you would pay 20%, Delta Dental would pay 80%, and that's when that deductible would come into play. For major services, you can see it's 50-50, as well as orthodontics. Orthodontics have a $1,500 per child lifetime maximum. You can see your different cost options here based on the level of coverage that you choose. If you keep scrolling, you'll get to your vision insurance with Community Eye Care. It's a $25 copay for that once-a-year eye exam. And then you have a $0 copay for materials. So that's a really great plan. If you get frames or contact lenses, you have a $130 allowance. And then if you go over that $130, you have varying discounts based on the materials that you get. You can see your cost options here based on the coverage that you choose. If you keep scrolling, we have even more benefits. Tetra Tech has a $50,000 life policy at no cost to you. So thank you, Tetra Tech. If you wanted to add to that number and enroll in voluntary term life, your benefit maximum is $500,000, and you can also cover your spouse and your children as well. Then you have access to short and long-term disability. Short and long-term disability, just to give you an idea of how these work, they pay 60% of your salary. Short-term disability is a weekly payment, and long-term is monthly. This would kick in after you've been out for a week and last for 25 weeks. After that, your long-term disability would kick in, and it lasts until Social Security normal retirement age. Now, one thing I want to point out about these three, the voluntary life, short, and long-term disability, we are actually not in open enrollment for those right now, so we can't make changes in the portal. You'll see that in just a minute. But if you have any questions about those or you want to make a change, give us a call. It may require medical questions and an application, but we can walk you through that process. Finally, you have 2 pre-tax advantage accounts, your flexible spending account and your dependent care account. Flexible spending can be used for medical costs such as copays, and your dependent care account can be used for dependent costs such as preschool, summer day camp, nursery, and elder daycare. These are the IRX 2019 maximums here, $2,700 for the FSA and $5,000 for the DCA. And we'll talk about those a little bit more when we get in the portal. You also have access to some really neat, what we like to call worksite benefits in the portal, and I'll talk about those as well. So lots of good things to choose from. This is the website that we're talking about today. But if online enrollment just isn't for you, you can always call our enrollment call center. This is a recorded line, and we can take your benefit elections and walk you through open enrollment over the phone as well. So this is all of our contact information. Like I said, feel free to reach out if you have questions about any of these benefits during open enrollment or, of course, throughout the year. So that was a lot of information. Take a look at that benefits summary. Make sure you're good with everything. And then when you're ready to make some decisions, you're going to click Next. And it will take you to your benefits portal. As you can see, here's all the plans we just talked about right here on the right. And it will start with your medical plan. It's going to have yourself and your dependents listed. You can choose to waive or enroll dependents. If you choose to waive, it will ask you to select a reason, and it won't let you sign off here until you've selected that reason. So be sure and do that. Once you've made that election, you choose your plan down here. You can see your 4 different plan options. And if you want to dig in a little bit deeper to learn more about what each of these plans cover, you can click on the summary benefits and coverage right here. And that's a really nice breakdown of each plan and the different services that it will cover. It will show you your current election here and your current cost per pay period, and then your different cost options here based on the plan that you choose and, of course, whether or not you choose to enroll dependents. You can see that cost changes if I enroll dependents. Your effective date is January 1st, 2019, so any choices that you make today will go into effect on the 1st. And then I also want to show you the Show Comparisons button right here. Again, this is a really nice side-by-side overview of your benefit options. It will show you your current election and then your 4 Humana plan options, which you can choose here. All right, so once you've made your medical plan election, you'll click Next, and it will take you to the dental. Very much the same. You can see I have the whole family enrolled in dental. It will show you your current cost and your cost for the 2019 year. And again, there's that summary of benefits if you want to learn a little bit more about what this plan covers. Once you've done that, you'll click Next, and it will take you to Vision. Exactly the same. You've got yourself and your dependents. You can enroll or waive, and you can see that this cost actually is not changing for the 2019 year. When I click Next, it will take me to that group life policy, $50,000 at no cost to you. So thank you, Petra Tech. And then when I click Next, it will take me to what I referred to earlier, those what we like to call worksite benefits. You have accident, cancer, critical illness, and hospital confinement. So just to tell you a little bit about how these plans work, they're really kind of neat. They're different than your typical insurance plans. For example, your medical plan, it works to pay the doctors, the hospital, the providers that take care of you. These plans are a little bit different because they actually pay you directly. And there's different payouts based off of what happens to you and the treatments that are needed as a result of it. You can enroll yourself or your dependents in these plans. And you can see there's a few different accident plans to choose from and different cost options here. So for example, if I click on the summary of benefits, you can look into these and see all of the different things that are covered. And a lot of people think of an accident as a sort of catastrophic incident, but it doesn't have to be. It can be something as simple as cutting your finger in the kitchen and needing stitches or something like that. So you can see all the different payouts here based on what happens in the treatment that's needed. And then you can choose your plan options here. If I click Next, it will take me to the cancer plan. This works very much the same way, except instead of an accident, it's based off of a cancer diagnosis. You can see that there are different benefits at different costs here. For example, if I click on the $10,000 summary of benefits, it's a flat $10,000 payout upon the diagnosis of cancer, and then varying payouts depending on the treatments that are needed as a result of that diagnosis. So you can choose your cancer plan. You can also enroll your dependents in that as well. When you click Next, it will take you to the critical illness plan. You'll see there's a non-tobacco and a tobacco rate. You're going to want to be honest with that because if something were to happen, then that would come into play. If you click on the summary of benefits here, you can see it works very much like the cancer plan, except this is everything but cancer. So heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, anything like that. It's a flat benefit upon diagnosis and then varying coverages based off of what happens to you and the treatments that are needed. All right, and finally we have the hospital confinement plan. This is self-explanatory. It's exactly what it sounds like. This is a payout based off of the admission to the hospital. So you can see, just like all the others, there are different payouts based on why you were admitted, how long you were admitted, and the treatments that were needed while you're there. So the thing that we like about these plans is they do pay you directly, and they're designed to cover some of those out-of-pocket costs, such as copays, deductibles, anything like that. Of course, you know, you can take that money to Disney World if you want to. It's entirely yours. It's up to you what you do with it. But these are nice plans to have in place for some of those unexpected costs that can come along with accident, cancer, critical illness, or hospital confinement. About these plans is they have a wellness benefit. So when you go each year to get your wellness exam, as we hope you are doing, they will actually give you a little bump just for doing that. So it's $50 to $100 depending on the plan. If you're enrolled in all four, you can get up to $200 just for getting that wellness exam. So that's always a nice little perk as well. So once you've made those elections, you'll click next, and it will take you to that flexible spending account that I mentioned. This is a really great way to set aside pre-tax dollars to be used for medical costs such as copays. And there's a nice little video here if you want to learn a little bit more about how an FSA works. Once you've enrolled in it, you'll actually make an annual election. So this is the amount you want to contribute throughout the entire year. The minimum is $100 and the maximum is $2,700. And then it will break it down for you and tell you how much that will take out of your paycheck. So if I contribute $1,500 for the year, this is how much it will take out pre-tax of my paycheck. If I click next, it will take me to the dependent care account, which, like I said, works very much the same way. You're setting aside pre-tax dollars to pay for dependent care services. And again, we have a nice video for you to check out to learn about that. The maximum is $5,000 and the minimum is $100. Again, it's an annual contribution that you're going to choose, and then it will show you your pre-tax per pay period deduction right there. All right, so that's all of our benefits on the right. And as you can see, that voluntary life and short and long-term disability that I mentioned are down here at the bottom. That's because, again, we're not in open enrollment for those, so we can't make changes in the portal. But, of course, call us if you have any questions about that. It will show you your current elections and your current costs. And then if you scroll down, it will add all of your benefits up for you really nicely and show you your per pay period total costs right here at the bottom. So once you're happy with all the decisions that you've made, you'll click next, and it will take you to your beneficiaries page. Now, like I said, these are a little bit different from dependents. This is who would receive the benefit if, God forbid, something were to happen to you. And different plans that you enroll in can have different beneficiaries. So you'll see if I scroll down, the accident critical illness plans also have beneficiaries. You can choose a primary and a secondary beneficiary, and you're just going to want to make sure that this number equals 100%, or it won't let you sign off here. You can add your beneficiaries here, and you can add as many as you like. Once you're done with that, you'll click next. And if everything goes through and it all looks good, it's going to ask you to sign here, and it's one pretty signature for all of the elections that you've made. So you don't have to fill out all of these forms over and over again. They are pre-populated for you. You'll just sign here. It's going to be a beautiful signature. And then you'll click continue, and it will take you to your final page summary. It's got yourself and your dependents, the plans that you've chosen, who's enrolled and who's waived, and your cost per pay period. If you scroll all the way down, it will show you your total cost per pay period. And again, there's those summary of benefits for each plan. You can't miss them. They're all over the portal. And it's a great way for you to learn more about what each of these benefits cover. You can print this for your records if you like, but of course we will have it on file for you as well. When you're done with that, you'll click next, and it will take you to your final page. Feel free to leave us some feedback. We're always wanting to learn how we can make this process easier and more enjoyable for you. So add a comment if you like, and then you'll click finish, and it will take you back to that home page. The last thing I want to point out is this Help Center right here. This has our contact information. As always, reach out if you have any questions now or throughout the year. And again, if online enrollment just isn't for you, you can call our enrollment call center, and we'll take your elections over a recorded line on the phone and walk you through that open enrollment process. So once you've done that, you can log out here and you are done. We are asking everybody to make their elections by Friday, December 7th. That is our deadline. So get it knocked out before the holidays, and happy open enrollment.